You all need Jesus. Yes, Yeshua. Okay, I got another video. Okay, I'll do that. All right, here we go. I had a dream. Sound familiar, huh? And it's interesting because the last couple weeks I've had dreams where same dream, get up, and then come back, and it starts all over again or starts the same place. But this dream last night was one of those, I lived it, I saw it, it was happening, it was in front of my face. But the weird thing to me is that it's a sequential dream in a sense. And what I mean is, having the same location the first time, and then it ended, rather short. And then last night, it started again. Same place, same location, but different and expanded. Now, as I go into it, you'll understand. So, the first dream, I was in this back, like, parking lot, alley, whatever, behind a bunch of businesses. And I had parked my car, and my dog was in the car. And I had a small little puppy with me, which was strange. A new dog, you know. And they had to stay in the car because they couldn't come to where I was going because it was a place where they had a bunch of food, open stores, stands, things like that. Okay, so I got out of the car, left the windows down, of course, you know, and it wasn't a hot day. It was actually kind of overcast. So I got out of the car, and I had a small car, which I don't, but it was small, it was red, and it was parked next to a couple posts. Okay, so I walk down this. There's a like an alleyway, right? And as I get down closer to where this marketplace is, there's all these stands, and I can't tell if they're Chinese or Japanese, but they're cooking dim sum and other egg rolls and things like that. And they had different flags that had kanji on them. And get down, and then I turn to my right, and there's all this rows and rows and rows, market stands, all this other stuff, you know, open air, like Chinatown or Little Tokyo kind of thing. But there wasn't anything distinctive of like, it's Asian, but not distinctive to whatever country it is. Okay, so this is part of the first dream. I walk over to the stand, and I go, oh, let me see what you're cooking, because I could smell it from a mile away. Right? Smelled great. Got in there. They had egg rolls, noodles, and little dim sum pot stickers, whatever else, and steam coming up, and you know they're all talking in foreign language, and I go, wow. And you know, these dreams where the colors are really bright, the smells, the taste, you know, the temperature I could feel on my skin, and then I woke up. And this was like 3 days ago, and I didn't really pay attention to it. I'm like, okay. Then last night, same exact location, behind the restaurant, in the alley, walk down this corridor to where all the stands are, you know, and the food and everything else. And I kept walking down the market street, passing all these little stands and the food, you know. But it was like, it was a repeat. Walk over to the stand, the noodles, the dim sum, the smell, the steams, and all the speaking languages. And I walk to a warehouse. And I walk into this warehouse, and it's metal structure with a dark roof on it. And it was very tall inside. I mean, it was huge. And there's rows and rows of food and stacks of stuff and supplies. And I'm like, wow, there's everything here. And they're like, yeah. And everything you need is here. Everything you can want, right? All your needs are taken care of. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. So I walk to the other end of the warehouse, and I come out to like a little parking area. And then it goes off to a cliff. So it was flat and big open area, right? And the sky is kind of hazy, like before, right? It was gray, overcast, not too hot, not too cold. And then all of a sudden, the clouds got like uh, gray and full. It's like if you ever been in pre-tornado where the clouds just sit on a shelf like there's air pressure or whatever else, and you can see these um, rows and rows of like cotton ball, right? But they're gray and they're dark, you know. And for as far as the eye could see, there was these clouds. I'm like, okay. Then it starts to get twilight, so that it starts to dim, and the clouds kind of dissipate. Then I look up, and I can see, looks like shooting stars going back and forth, zip, 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 up, down, left, right, all over the place. I'm like, wow. But they weren't. They were angels. But they were moving so fast, they were just streaks of white light. And these streaks of white light were moving everywhere, super fast, right? And all over the sky. And there's just like tons of them. And the weird part is there was an opening in one area, and it was blue, like bright blue behind it. And I could see just angels moving all over the place. And then that kind of dissipated and closed, and it got darker and darker. And then I could see just like when you go out in the desert, you could see bazillion stars. You see the Milky Way and everything else. There's no light pollution from cities, right? It was like that. And I was like, wow. And some people were standing beside me and looking. And then all of a sudden, I saw this like circle in the sky. And if you ever watch this movie, Melancholy, the planet gets close, or the moon, it was like that. It was huge. And in my head, I'm like, wait, what is that, right? And there was clouds on it and everything, and it was very dark. And I could see it was close. And I'm like, wow, that's really big and close. And I saw it. It was the Earth. And I could see the lights of the cities, and I saw South American continent. It was very huge. But I couldn't see North America. North America had just storm clouds all over it, right? Except for this one little area that had blue. It was royal blue. And there was little stars, which I think are angels, all inside this little opening. And they were all in a grid. So, like before they were shooting around all over the place, no, they were in position, ready. And you could see them line by line by line by line in this opening. And I went, okay, that's weird. And then the opening, the little sliver opened up a little bit. You could see more and more of the grid of angels, and then it closed. Then South America got big, or it was closer, or whatever. And I could see Brazil, and Brazil was on fire. There was just fire starting all over the place, and all these people were running around screaming, And now, mind you, I'm not in the atmosphere. I'm on outside of this warehouse in this parking lot area. And I'm like, am I like in the position of the moon? Now, it does say in the Bible that the moon is a witness. So here I am witnessing all this chaos in Brazil. And the other little opening portal that I was talking about over North America with all these storms that are happening around it. The portal was kind of like in the center of America, like where Tornado Alley is. And it would close, and then it would open, and then it would close, and then it would open, and then it would close, and then it would open, right? And it kind of moved around, but predominantly toward the center, And then I woke up. What does it mean? Well, I'm not going to be on the earth. There's angels running around the place. There's angels in a grid, prepared, ready for something underneath the clouds over North America. And in South America, Brazil is in trouble. So take it to the Lord, ask him what it means. But it was one of those super, super hyper real dreams. And the image sticks in my head. You know, I could see the colors. I could smell the wind, right? I could smell the different things that were cooking when I was walking down the marketplace. You know, I could feel the cold in my skin. Um, so I don't know. Something is about to kick off because the angels are rushing to get into place, and then they were in place in the one little area. You know, so take it to the Lord. Love you guys. See you in the next video.